1300 01 1170. We're here for the Hyundai Tucson Hybrid. Overtake the ordinary, and a man who's a staple on a Tuesday and a Thursday. He's the host of the Matty Johns Show, and he's the host of Morning Glory here on a Friday at SEN. It is Matthew Johns. G'day, Matty.
Hey Joel, hey Fletch. I've had a bit of a tough afternoon.
What's happened?
Well, I'm just ticking things off about going to Paris, and I've gone right. What do I need now? I don't wear underpants. Okay.
Well, not yours anyway.
No, that's right. Well, I've gone right. Okay, I'm over there. Right, I don't wear a money belt. That's not let me go. I'll put the Reg Grundies on, and I'll just slip the wallet and that down there into the undies. When I got the for pickpockets and whatnot and so forth, so on and so forth. So anyway, I went to Rebel Sport, and I saw these like sports tights, like underpants. I said, mate, yep, I'll get them. They were large. Yeah. I got them the extra large. Anyway, I came home and tried them on. I went, Jesus, they're tight for extra large. Oh, I've done it again, Fletch. They're ladies.
Oh. Not the first time. What you need to get, Matthew, especially because you're going to Paris and it's going to be stifling, you need to get a pair of Step 1s, the bamboo underwear.
Cha-ching.
No, cha-ching. I'm telling you, I wear them, and they are no rash, no chafe. Yeah. And you breathe.
Do you?
You're breathing. I'm just saying.
Yeah. Fletcher,
very good.
Coop gave me a pair of the bamboo ones. Might have been in the tradie
Rank.
ones. Put them on.
They're
no
cheap,
good?
cheap version.
Because you're not aligned to Step 1 at all.
I'm not. No. I'm not. I hand on heart, I'm not.
No.
They're kids on the block. Matthew, before we get into Origin chat, what we like to do, Colin Cowherd is one of the great broadcasters over there. He likes to rehash what we discussed earlier.
Correct.
Now, I don't know if you knew about this, but this is fair income. A couple got arrested after butt funneling margaritas at a Mexican restaurant. Joe Boyett has been arrested along with his wife, Mary Sweat, for a misdemeanor public indecency after a video of them attempting to funnel a margarita into Mary's anus.
What?
Yes. So what I'm thinking, hear me out. That dive bar we went to in Vegas.
Yeah, yep, Double Down Saloon.
Yep, I noticed across the road was a hardware.
Oh yeah.
I
like where you're going.
We're going to get Gordon.
Yep.
And we're going to fill his blurter with that rank bacon juice.
Yep, we'll fill it there, then we'll bring Madge in. All right, we'll tie Gordon down. What about the Madge versus Gordon?
Has he doubled down again?
Well, I heard him on the radio the other day. It was confusing. He was saying that they were talking about he and Madge, and he was going, Fletcher's elevated this on SEN, and he was. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what he was up to the ball, but. Mate, that's a great idea, Fletch. I can imagine that. I can just imagine the funnel hanging out of the Raging Bull's anus, just pushing the arse juice in there.
Well, speaking of coaches of Origin, did you see Billy Slater this afternoon? Danny Widler.
You started the rumour.
Danny Widler has been reporting that Selwyn Cobbo is not seeing eye to eye with... Oh, we've got the audio. Sit back, Matthew. Take the funnel out and listen to this.
I just reported that you've had a bit of a rift with Cobbo, you and your coaching staff. Can you shed any
light
on that?
Yeah, it's been reported.
Okay.
Yeah, can you squash that? Because I know there's been a lot come out that you had a rift with Cobbo.
I actually haven't seen Selwyn more happy. I haven't seen him more engaged in his football, and he's had a great week. He's ready to play. Gone are the days that you've got to report the truth. So, I don't know where that's come from, but totally fake news.
Ooh. Is he getting a bit antsy? What are you reading there?
Well, the thing about that is Danny is a Channel 9 man. Yeah. And it's not as if he's shoot one across the bow. He's talking about one of his our bedfellows in Billy. And it's interesting because what was interesting was when Billy didn't play Selwyn in Game 2, but then he played for the Broncos after, I believe.
He did.
So that was confusing. That might have put Selwyn's nose out of joint slightly. So, that's interesting, mate. It's been a tough series so far for Billy, hasn't it? Like he's had the cranky pants on, and he was a little bit more easygoing at the start. I saw his first press conference when led into this game, and he had the smile back, and he was a lot more amicable. I'd say that he looked back at himself going into Game 2 and probably thinking that the glass houses remark from Madge did affect him, and in turn affected the team a bit.
Tell you what, we were saying before, Matty, if he wins this match, the resume starts to stack up a little bit. On the NRL front, he breaks a 43-year drought for South.
Yeah.
He beats Australia by 30 for New Zealand.
Mm-hmm.
And then you go win a decider after being down 1-0 and you clinch it at Suncorp.
Yeah.
That's a fair
resume.
resume.
I'd say the other one too, Joel. I mean, let's look back on this now in hindsight. He was doing a bloody good job at the Tigers.
Yeah.
When you have a look at what they're enduring now,
Yep.
it looks, he was doing a solid job, a really good job actually under all sorts of adversity.
He might have just been 18 months away from getting the roster he wanted, really. Like
there,
I think so.
I'd like to see him with Luai going there next year. How do you see it, Matthew? Last time you were pretty spot on. You liked us 13 plus. Are you as buoyant as you were 3 weeks ago?
I'm really confident, Fletch, Joel. I'm really confident. It just feels like we've got all the confidence and all the momentum. It just feels that way. It feels like it's set up for us to win the series. I think there's some vulnerability about Queensland. I like our foot, mate. I just like the way our players are conducting themselves, and like they're in a really aggressive frame of mind. I was watching 360 last night. Angus Crichton was on there, and didn't mince his words. He was just very straightforward, and how they were going to dominate. And I thought it was good. One thing Madge is very, very good at, boys, is how do I say this? Well, recognising where he got it wrong earlier, or where the side got it wrong as well, and then adjusting and getting it right, like he did with the Kiwis last year, where they struggled first up against the Aussies. He went away, corrected the things that needed to be fixed, and they just hammered him. And it's been the same. It's been the same so far with the State of Origin. And as I said, Joel, if you can win this decider up in Brisbane, boy oh boy, it is looking good in his CV.
But when you just simply break it down, like they don't have Flegler, they don't have Tino, they don't have Munster from last year.
Correct.
And then you go, how many New South Wales players are at career best form? And there's a stack of them. How many Queensland players have either gone over the hill as far as their best form of all time, or have had a checkered lead up? So Kalen Ponga hasn't played much football. Hammer's been missing games. Harry's been missing games. The list goes on. Reece Walsh.
Kirk Capewell's only played. I think he's only played 12 games.
But
10 games.
how many Queenslanders are at the absolute
we're going
peak
better.
of their form? We win the game. We win.
That game too, reminded me, boys, and I haven't seen this from a New South Wales side for, mate, it might be, well, actually there was one a couple of series ago we dominated, but it's been a long, long time since consistently we have bullied Queensland and just looked a step above them, even in talent. Like last game we had, when we had Crichton and Latrell in the centres, for me that typified the dominance that we were going to have and we had over Queensland. They're just big, strong blokes. They're tough, brilliant footballers, and it was like in the Origin days. Remember when Joey was playing there, right? And there was one series in particular, might have been the 2004 series or 2003. And I remember as New South Wales were about to run on the field, they walked up the tunnel, and the three last blokes who left the tunnel were the three back rowers: Craig Fitzgibbon, Ben Kennedy, and Rico. And when I looked at those three blokes and said, there is no way New South Wales are losing this game with those three blokes at the top of their game. And I just thought the same thing last game with Latrell and Stephen Crichton. Now, there's no Latrell this game, but I think as far as Queensland's concerned, the damage has been done. I am so confident we're going to win this.
Totally agree.
Round 8 points, I reckon.
The other thing too, right? So people say this Suncorp record for deciders, but Humidor's record versus Winks wasn't that good. We're not playing Winks this time.
No.
The team being up there defending has typically been Thurston, Cronk, Slater, Smith, Lockyer. We're not playing those players.
If they do win Queensland, which is possible, it would be one of their great victories.
Of course it is.
Like one of their great victories.
Yep. And that'll motivate them.
Yeah.
They love it. But it's hard to believe they're favourites.
Yeah. Well, that's just the history of it. I still, for the life of me, can't believe that David Fifita And I don't cop the.
I know.
I don't cop the bit saying, towards the back end of the
Hands on
game,
hips.
his body language. He doesn't need. He's not. Have him coming off the bench. He only has to play 30 or 40 minutes. I don't believe that. There's something. There's something smells there. Something's fishy.
It's very strange because I thought Billy would pick him along with Ponga because I thought game one they picked an aggressive side, a side that was going to score points, highlighted by Cobbo on the bench. Second game, Cobbo's not picked for whatever reasons, various reasons were given, and they went with Kate. Well, they went with Felice and a few other guys. Basically, they picked a grafting, grinding team, and it blew up in their face. And going into game 3, I thought, mate, Fifita will get a start for sure here, and he just hasn't. And you're right, Fletch. You wouldn't start him,
No,
because I reckon if you started him, you would leave him after a certain period of time vulnerable to. Madge is very, very good at. The other thing he's good at is really picking a player's shortcomings defensively and coming up with sequences that'll isolate him. And I think he would. But a 20-minute burst through the middle of the game, I tell you, I'm so happy he's not picked.
no.
Well, the other watch is Gagai. Last time they played Para, Moses burned him twice.
Yeah, from the scrum.
Yeah.
I reckon that'll be. I reckon because we spoke to Matty King early today, Matty, and we asked him about being the assistant coach. What do you do? And he goes, I look after the attack. But he says, I don't really have to do much because I leave it up to the playmakers. So you would think Moses would remember that game because I got him twice from that scrum play.
Yeah. Geez, that's good from Kingy. Just shows a lack of ego.
Yep.
At the end of the day, when you pick your halves, the halves bring the style.
Yeah.
You know, it's up to when a half walks into the side. There's a big responsibility for a halfback you pick for numerous reasons during the game. But the other primary reason is that halfback's got to come into the camp and he's got to bring his style, and he's got to manoeuvre all the players and plug all the players into himself and get that style going, get them understanding the style. It's like back in the day, like if you picked an Australian side and Alan Lang as your halfback, you don't play like Ricky Stewart. You don't play an expansive style. And so I think sometimes that's where we've got it wrong, where Kingy, what he just said there is spot on. I don't have to do too much with the attack. I'll look after the just give it to the playmakers. But Ponga will be interesting. It'll be intriguing exactly how Billy uses him. I was listening to someone the other day, and they said, they won't play him 13. But if they're not going to play him 13, where are they going to play him, right? And they said, he'll be wasted in the middle. Well, he came on his debut in the middle, and he carved us up. It's just at what point Billy puts him on is the really big one. And when he comes on, how much possession they have had versus how much we've had, who's winning the yardage battle, all those things. Because I can tell you, if he comes on after 25 minutes and they've been dominating yardage and possession, then we're in trouble. It's really interesting. Look at there's a bit of mail going around, boys, that Harry Grant will start. There's a bit of mail. And the other one is Mo Fodawaker will start and Lindsay Collins will go back to the bench. Now, if that does come to fruition, what that, in my opinion, is doing is Billy he's basically building his side or building his game plan on the second wave that'll come in. So, at about that 20-25 minute mark, introducing Collins and Kalen Ponga and bringing Ben Hunt on in some sort of style. And that's what I think. If they start with Fodawaker ahead of Collins, that's what I'm certain they're going to do. I think they'll graft and grind for the first 20-25 minutes, and they'll try to run over the top of us with their second wave coming off the bench.
Yeah, but we've got Mad Mitchie Barnett coming on. I can't wait to see him play.
We got him, Spencer.
Oh, Spencer. Good.
Mate.
Yeah. No, we have, but it's the Ponga thing, him coming on. He just offers something completely different to anybody out in the field. And it'll be, from a neutral's perspective, I'm looking forward to seeing how he and Reece Walsh gel. I mean, if those two blokes can gel and form combination, and boy, oh boy, that's a handful. The good thing about it, luckily for us, is they're both like sweeping to their left, and on that side we've got Stephen Crichton.
Yes.
So that's we counter him there.
I call him the Venus flytrap.
Because
you get within him, he just goes boof.
Wait, yeah.
Oh, he's
Sticks his
mate,
big Robert Young
he
out
is
and
the Peter's house.
and just licks in. That was a great show, Honey, I Shrunk the Kids.
Yeah.
No, not that one.
Oh,
No,
Rick
No, what was the other one? Was that the bit with the Venus flytrap?
Yeah,
Yes.
the big one. Or Little Shop of Horrors.
Little Shop of Horrors.
Yeah.
That's the one. That was another Rick Moranis.
Was it?
Mate, Rick Moranis, what about him? Isn't he the Jerry Krause? Back in the day, Ghostbusters, Little Shop of Horrors,
That's right.
Yep.
Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, all those movies. Now, you know why he completely disappeared out of Hollywood and out of movies? It's because his wife passed away and he's got 3 or 4 kids and he went, you know what, I'm giving away my acting career to just raise the kids.
So that's
And
good.
I say, I'd tip my hat to you, Rick Moranis.
Yeah.
Whatever happened to Edward Norton? He was my favourite actor, and he just disappeared. Was he part of the? It wasn't a Me Too rort for him, was it?
No. Fletch, he has made a mild, sort of a little bit of a comeback. He was in a Michael Keaton movie which won an Academy Award of sorts, Birdman. He made a comeback in that movie, which is a very, very good movie. Quirky, little left of center, but very good film. And he made one which he directed too, called Brooklyn something or other. But he was good, like movies like
Primal Fear.
But mate, like American History X.
Oh yeah.
The big one I loved him in was a movie, Spike Lee movie. He was in with Philip Seymour Hoffman called The 25th Hour.
Oh yes. Yes. Yeah.
It is awesome. A really underrated movie.
Hey, Matty, we've got a text here saying, Matty, thank you for the movie recommendation, Barbarian. Watched it with the missus, and she has not spoken to me since. What the F? I loved it, by the way. Cheers, that's the Canara Cowboy.
Hey, I tell you what, I've been copping some. So my young bloke Jack, he texted me and said, mate, I'm about to include you in a group chat. I said, what's this about? And he said, just wait. Anyway, it was about 4 or 5 of the Newcastle Knights boys. They listen to SEN, they listen to you blokes, and they listen to our show on the podcast. Anyway, they all go away after our movie of the week and sit and watch it. And myself, Hogarth, honestly, we just wrapped the pants, and Liam Alexander wrapped the pants off Barbarian. Just saying, mate, it's the movie of the decade. I honestly believe it's the best movie I've seen in 10, 15 years. And they go, mate, we've got to watch this. And they just come back and the amount of vile abuse that I copped off members of my old club is really disgusting. But have you blokes seen it?
No, I haven't. No.
I haven't. I'm going to get around. Oh, yeah, hang on. We've got this too.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Matthew, this has been a conundrum all day. We're trying to work out what she means. This is the great Nicole Kidman, who was on a podcast over in the States.
What should every woman try at least once in her life? We all know what that answer is, and way more than once.
But boys, that's obvious. She's talking about sleeping with a former Knights 5'8" who's now a TV star.
Oh, yes, of course. Sean Rudder, one of the greats. One of the absolute
Matthew, well
greats.
done again. We'll catch you Thursday.
Good on you,
Go the
lads.
Blues.
There we
Go
go.
well.